start.
Okay, so we're gonna be going over the Randall recap from the week of February 5th, and the learning target was I can identify the literary elements of a short story. So we were looking at if the student could pull out who the characters were, the setting, and the plot. So this is where you would have clarifying questions, but then we don't have any usually because we all do the same. But do you have any questions?
No, and we're just supposed to make sure that they,
Yeah, we have our
Hit all those
literary element
pieces.
anchor chart.
okay. So,
So now you're gonna look at the student work.
and we have these all in order, so we're all looking at the same thing,
Same,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So this time keep them in order.
Yes.
Okay, so. I'm just kind of putting down notes, right, as we're going through. Oh, I'm slower, I'm sorry. Well, we can stop when you guys are, and then I can.
That's fine.
circling that they got a vote.
Alright, so now we're just gonna talk about what we noticed, we're not analyzing yet, we're just gonna talk about what we noticed.
I noticed that, am I analyzing, but I'm noticing that they got the characters pretty well.
Yeah.
And, I noticed that they, did really well. Are we analyzing that way though? But they're,
What did you notice with the setting?
I feel like it was a bit all over because, you had some that said, the summer afternoon, which is from the text, and others that just like used deductive reasoning to determine it was outside or in a desert or something like that. Like not necessarily citing from the text, but providing other reasons where they think the setting might be.
it's
Yeah,
almost like they were inferring.
yeah, that's what I noticed too, is that they were inferring where the setting might be instead of looking at the beginning where it says on a summer afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we can talk about, we can analyze that
Yep.
in a minute, but with the problem and solution, I noticed that most of the students got problem and solution. They struggled more with the setting,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or they identified just the problem, like one
one or the
student-
other,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I put both for, but it's interesting how they discussed, well, that's analyzing how they,
But we can get into analyzing now.
so you wanna start with the, number one and everybody did the crow, right?
Yeah.
I had a few people say,
The pebbles.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I had
then,
one person do that.
Yeah.
yeah, and then one student said cow,
cow.
but there's no cow.
Yeah.
in
So
the-
yeah, I was confused on that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they weren't reading properly, or they
Well,
rushed through,
You saw cow and crow,
yeah.
Or that, yeah.
that makes total sense. For the second one, most of them put, at least they knew that, very few put summer, which was interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when they didn't put summer, they really explained how they knew.
Mm-hmm.
They gave they gave evidence of why they thought,
Yeah.
where they were saying, it must be the desert because there was little water,
Yeah.
right?
Or
really-
near a house because there are pebbles outside houses and stuff like that,
Mhm.
Yeah, and so when I was looking at those, I was wondering like, okay, so did they get that, or is that something they, not for sure the ones, because 3 students said, referred, or thought it would be like a habitat. 2 students said it was a desert, and someone said savanna.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was interesting that we just finished habitats, so I don't know if they were trying to, I don't know if they were connecting that.
Right,
But, when I was going through these, the way that I saw it was, if they didn't say in the summer, at least, then they didn't get it. Like, what
Okay.
do you think?
the problem is though, when they said in the summer, most of them did not explain how they
Yeah.
knew that. So, this is
So-
something we need to, I think,
Right, is the explaining.
readdress, yeah.
Yeah.
First, identifying it and then using that evidence.
Right, and I
how
know
you
that across the board, we're noticing that they do struggle with explaining using evidence from the
Mhm.
text.
Yes.
So, but yeah, like you said that the ones that maybe didn't totally get it, they did a really good job explaining.
Because they're trying to justify why.
Yeah,
But these people said, well, it said summer, so they didn't even say, explain how you know, they just said in the
in
summer.
the summer,
Mhm.
yeah.
So,
And then, I mean, the problem and solution, there wasn't really many that didn't get it.
I got the ones, if they didn't get it, most of them didn't get, they didn't write the solution, they didn't give a good
Yeah,
explanation of the
Yeah.
solution. They just said he found water.
Yeah.
They
They found
figured out how to
water
get
for-
water, but they didn't really,
they didn't explain what the solution was, like they
yeah.
couldn't get water, but they found it, okay, but there was more to it than just that.
yeah, there was like two people maybe, how he dropped the pebble and the water rose.
Mm-hmm,
They did good evidence. But, you know, some of it was she found water or,
Right,
I did one that just wants water and then finds some pebbles, okay,
Yeah.
but what did they use the pebbles
right,
for?
yeah, that one, I mean, kind of got it, but,
Yeah,
oh, there's like, why did you come to the top? There's like 4 of them that actually had that, the concept of raising it. Some said she took pebbles and dropped them, but they didn't say what
right,
what happened, why it happened,
why did they
yeah.
use the pebbles?
and I wonder if that's a part of just not wanting to write enough, because it looked, on that one, it looked like they just stopped.
Mhm.
Instead of just continuing their explanation.
Mm-hmm,
So, I think we need to explain to them that they need to be thorough
in their explanations.
in their explanation and really prove their evidence, because if they can prove something with evidence, even if it's not exactly what we're looking for, but we notice that that's what they're seeing. At
Yeah.
least we know that they're trying to figure it out.
So then, next steps would be to remind them to explain by using evidence
Mm-hmm,
and to be thorough in their explanations. I think I need to, since this is my class, I would continue working on setting,
mm-hmm.
because it seems like,
Well, they're inferring,
A
but if
higher-
they can't prove it,
Right.
then they're gonna have a hard time.
I feel like a lot of kids, when they hear setting, just think where, they don't think about the when,
Yeah.
as it says the summer afternoon.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll continue to work on, setting in small groups.
Yeah,
And, well, and as a whole too, because it was a majority, I would say, were not very clear.
Mm-hmm,
I think what I would, and probably you'll do it too, is just give them these back and really like go through them with them and write the expectations of what we
Yeah.
were looking for, and then go to small group.
Yeah, and then, so remember we had said that we would go over the Randall recaps after we give them, like soon
Mhm.
after.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
I didn't have time to do that on Friday, so my
Mhm.
plan, after looking at them, was to give them back today when I get them all back after enrichment and go over it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could use students, since I know who got it right, then I can use those students
Mhm.
to explain how they knew it was
What they were
on a
thinking.
summer afternoon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we covered all the things.
All in all, I think it's a good start.
Yeah.
For them,
Mhm.
so they're getting there.
Well, I noticed an improvement from the last one, cause we did
Sorry.
a similar recap
Mm-hmm,
on the field mouse.
yes,
And I feel like, although that was theme, not
problem
plot.
solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
so, but still, there was an improvement from that last one to this
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm.